overwhelm the interaction and spot removal from the Sultai ramp deck from Gabriel Nicholas.
Well, we'll find out. Players looking at their opening hands for our finals match. 3 seed versus the 4. Nicholas is on the play. Keeping a 5-lander, that's generally pretty good in the Sultai mirror. We'll see if it's enough against the sacrifice deck opening on Gutter Bones.
Narrator voice. It wasn't.
Thought Erasure gives some information on that, and a bunch of spells on the other side of the table. Can't be too thrilled about that. Let's take care of that Dreadhorde Butcher. But Ryuji's still pretty capable of curving out. Here's Mire Triton. Gutterbones rumbles in. Nicholas to 16. And only lands off the top so far.
The Gutterbones being the 1-drop here is very important because while Gabriel is kind of struggling to develop, that's 2 damage every single turn that Gutterbones represents, and that's just like something that can't really be overstated. When these Rakdos sacrifice decks actually get to go 1-drop, 2-drop, and put pressure on you while doing all the sacrifice shenanigans, that's when the deck starts to shine, and that's why the Rakdos version has been so powerful, even with the ban of Cat Oven. Now you still just have this aggressive slant, and most of your tools are still intact.
Squad rumbles in. Nicholas to 10. Ryuji thinking about how to navigate from here. Nicholas Lick looks a lot like Inglis's. We have those 3 extinction events in the main. Got to be mindful of that sort of thing.
Right. And both players obviously playing with open deck lists here. We're in the finals. An extinction event has to be on his mind. If there was no interaction on turn 2 other than Thought Erasure, no removal spell on 3. Like, what else can it be? It's either nothing or extinction event.
Nicholas cycles a Triome, draws Ether Gust, and then Thought Erasure for turn. Not great.
Never was great.
Here's Fabled Passage. Let's go find land number 4. It's a forest, so let's Thought Erasure. Take a look at that hand. See Serrated Scorpion has been added. Probably, well, I mean, the claim is still threatening even with the Gust.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only target for Gust, but, like, can you really afford to hold up that mana all the time? No.
Well, here's one that's going to ask for the Gust. Dreadhorde Butcher off the top.
It doesn't quite solve the problem, but it does buy time, and really that's all you need when you have Nisu Shakes the World. You just need a little bit of time.
Well, do you get that, though? If you wake up a land, it's going to get claimed.
Oh, yeah.
Let's jam for 4. Here's a Narset. That's not the matchup Narset's for.
It is not.
Narset static does not stop Goblin Piker from attacking. I double-checked. And yeah, Gabriel Nicholas did too. We're going to game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, the draws there, not really great for Gabriel Nicholas. Obviously struggling a bit there, but you know, kept a bit of a greedy hand on the play, had a bit of fixing with the Thought Erasure. You know, wasn't able to contain the creatures from his opponent's side of things, never drew Extinction Event, and honestly, that's basically the end of the story.
We saw Ryuji did have a rough game number 1 in the top 4, breezed through it here in the finals. Nicholas did win the first game in the set against Rakdos Sacrifice that he previously won. These are not good signs for Gabriel Nicholas.
The good news is that both players are intimately familiar with this matchup already, so both players sideboarding quite quickly. They know what goes in, they know what comes out, and they know what's important. You know, these Duresses, we saw them last round, they were super good. Let's see how good they are here, though.
Duress, let's take a look. Gets rid of Thought Erasure, protect the other Duress. Probably come for that Extinction Event, we'll see though. Then number 2 is tapped, it's Temple of Malice. We see a card kept on top very quickly.
It was probably land 3, I had to imagine.
That'd be my guess as well. Duress takes a peek at the hand again. Nissa, Ether Gust, and Extinction Event all options. Actually goes for the Nissa. And Nicholas is going to go for Uro. Wants to hit land drops. Does find Forest. That means next turn could be a 2-spell turn. Or if things get really weird, an Extinction Event turn. But I wouldn't expect that. Dreadhorde Butcher and Archfiend's Vessel show up. Nicholas to 20 off an attack. Ooh, and a nice pickup there in Heartless Act. So first we use Thought Erasure, take a look at the hand. Unfortunately, 2 Village Rites.
Yeah, but you do get Call of the Death Dweller, which is a great way for them to recoup a lot of lost card advantage from all of the removal spells. So obviously Extinction Event Exile, so it wouldn't be that good of a check against that specifically. But overall, just like having a way to buy 2 creatures back for 3 mana is a pretty big deal.
A Land Travail to the graveyard. Some Uro food.
It feels just like an Ether Gust, not a Heartless Act. Heartless Act can't just kill the Butcher because it has a counter on it, which is a little weird. And you don't want to just like bust up the
Heartless Act targeting the Vessel.
He did it, I guess, just to turn off the Village Rites for a turn. That's interesting. I would have probably just gone for the Ether Gust on the Dreadhorde Butcher. It kind of time walks, and that gives you a little more food for Euro.
Yeah, that's definitely not the most exciting Heartless Act I've ever seen, but it's really just about the Village Rites. We'll see how it plays out from here. See Serrated Scorpion, and Ryuji looking to immediately Village Rites that away.
A little divination strategy.
Enter the God Eternals off the top. That could be a good one at some point. Might be awkward against Village Rites, and also might just get to rest away, as that was one of the pickups for Ryuji. Extinction Event clears up the Butcher. Now we see Duress. Yeah, get Enter the God Eternals out of here.
Oh, that's nice. And has the spare mana to bring back the Loris as well. He has a Vessel in the graveyard too, so he can just make a 5/5 flyer next turn if he wants. But a nice pickup from Gabriel. He's able to find an Eliminate, which can take care of that 5/5, or the Loris, whichever he so chooses.
And Uro gets to escape this turn as well. All right, so here is Luris. Here comes a 5/5 Demon. 5/5 Demon is losing the race to Uro in more than one way, though.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look, I know the game is over. I'm trying not to say the game's over, but the game is
You did not succeed. You did.
Look, I was trying really hard. You're saying all these words, Todd, but can he beat the Euro? No! No one can ever beat Euro once it's going.
Double block on Uro. Yeah, Ryuji knows how rough it is, and Eliminate takes care of Luris. Uro eats the demon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Still has an appetite.
Still has Ether Gust in hand to protect from something like the steal. The stupid Claim the Firstborn plus Village Rites was no longer an option because of that Ether Gust too.
We just witnessed something beautiful, Todd.
What was that?
A very tight
concession.
A very tight session in the finals here for Ryuji. This game's over. Ryuji knows it. Let's play game 3. Let's win that one. Love it.
Yeah. Gets to be on the play, which is exactly where you want to be when you have Gutter Bones in your deck. Starts that feature Gutter Bones into Dreadhorde Butcher are actually pretty hard for this Sultai deck to deal with because they just need to ramp into Extinction Event. And as long as you just keep pressing on the gas pedal over and over again and don't just get full-blown destroyed by an Extinction Event, or you get to duress it away, it's pretty fine. You're just in pretty good shape most of the time. So it's going to be an interesting game 3 here.
See if Ryuji can do it one more time.
Players here playing for $2,000 up top. Second place is $1,000, so a pretty hefty match here. That's a month's rent for most of where we live.
No kidding.
Not for me though.
Quick mulligan for Ryuji and a gross looking 6 as well.
Yeah, and when you're boarding in duresses and stuff, oh, he's gonna keep it. I actually love this keep.
If you draw a mountain.
This is such a heater if he hits. But if he goes to 5, he knows he's dead, and he just has the gutter bones into the butcher if he finds it.
Right, there is gutter bones. Triumph for Nicholas. Do we have the mountain?
Let's
We do.
go!
We got a game. All right.
The butcher! Oh, he went for the
Actually,
dress. No.
duress.
Oh no.
Duress Weaponize uses the mana. Gives you some information, I suppose.
Oh,
Takes a look at Tameo, Extinction Event. Yeah, I like the Butcher too. It's not bad next turn.
Yeah, dress is almost as good on 3 as it is on 2.
The Duress unfortunately takes Thought Erasure, which kind of blocks for the spell that could have been cast this turn anyway. However, the mountain was there. We are playing. Here's a Blood Crypt, so now 2 spells can be cast from hand.
Yeah, and there's no play currently on the horizon for next turn, though the Extinction Event could be good. A land allows for double activation of the Weaponize the monsters. Next turn can also just pay for Lures of the Dream Den to put it in hand. Just depends on the texture of the game, I suppose.
Here's what I want to know, Todd. Are you casting the spaces for 1?
You're damn right I'm casting for 1. I ain't trying to be dead. You know how often people die with a Hydroid Crisis in hand? It's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a lot.
I love that play from Nicholas. It's a desperation play, but things get so much better if you can just tread water through this turn.
Yeah. Block the gutter bones, probably.
Block is on the Butcher. So 3 draws. Nicholas to 12. Draw was Village Rites. Ryuji contemplating. So the options are leave up Weaponized Rights or add Luris to hand. Chooses to add Luris to hand. Pretty scary pickup for Nicholas this turn and enter the God Eternals.
Yeah. The problem is if you hold up Weaponize the monsters, Extinction Event is just good, right? Like if you cast Extinction Event, they don't choose odd or even until it resolves. And so, you're left like having to sacrifice before the choice is made. And if you choose odd, or like if you sacrifice anything, it just makes the Extinction Event better,
Right. Here's land number 4. Butcher rumbles in. Nicholas to 10. Butcher grows to a 3. There's
Luris.
Gonna
make a 5/5. I didn't make a 5/5.
Exiled.
Oh, it did get exiled.
Essel went extinct. So this is Luris leaving up Village Rights.
He's going to go for the Enter the God Eternals, but it's still going to gain the life. Even though the Village Rights can sacrifice, he's still going to gain the life.
I believe it makes the 4/4, but I think you interact with some of it. You gain life equal to damage dealt. So you turn off the light game, but some of the card does. So you still mill and you still make a 4/4.
Right, that's right. I've gained less life because some damage was prevented before.
All right, Uro very relevantly put into the graveyard off of the mill.
Nice.
Ryuji drew 2 cards. We have Call the Death Dweller, Fiend Artisan, and Serrated Scorpion. Don't really have good attacks. 3/3 into 4/4.
Yeah, but Call the Death Dweller can just get back Luris later. I don't think it's necessary right now. It could be pretty good for later on.
Fiend Artisan plus Serrated Scorpion. Yeah, this is the play I like for this turn. Serrated Scorpion, just kind of some floating damage. Same deal with the Butcher.
And here comes the Euro Slog.
There's an escape on Uro. If this Uro can hit a 2-mana spell, that's going to be a huge swing in Nicholas's favor.
Even if it doesn't, still pads his life total. A 4/4 was enough to keep creature. Oh my lord!
Eliminate off the top. I mean, there's some very scary things that can happen if you don't find that 2-mana spell, but once you have it, yeah, we take care of this Fiend Artisan. It's a solid position. Oh, wow. This is the card I was thinking of. Claim the Firstborn. I'll take that Uro. And if that draws a land, you can see 2 activations of Weaponize this turn. Just Uro attacks. We find Fiend Artisan. I think you got a chump block with this zombie, right?
I think you do. You're gonna lose your 6/6, but next turn you just have to protect your life total at all costs. Like the only way you lose this game as the Euro pilot is if Weaponize the Monsters burns you out. So you lose your 4/4, but you could literally just like play Nisu Shakes the World and make multiple blockers this turn.
So Uro gets thrown in Nicholas's face. Nicholas falls to 11, draws a land. I believe can Nissa, Tamio, and eliminate this turn?
Yeah, I was counting it up just now, and I think that you're right on that.
Oh, never mind. Fabled Passage is just an Uro card. I wasn't sure we were there yet, but that's really good.
It's like counting the Claim the Firstborns in the graveyard. You can't do that. You just have to go for it. You can't not Euro. You have to go to 14. You're going to get the extra card. You get a 3/3 blocker from the Nissa. Everything's gravy.
Right, here it comes. Nicholas to 14, draws negate.
That's the game right there, boys. That's the game.
That covers the scariest stuff. That covers any potential claims.
Yeah, it also covers Call of the Death Dweller, which is currently in hand, which can get back Luris. I don't know that Luris is able to keep up with the Euro as far as like a long game is concerned, but negate shutting down Claim the Firstborn, I think, is just enough to make sure that the game is out of reach.
Creatures attacking Nissa. Kind of a last-ditch effort here from Ryuji. See, Uro's going to block Butcher. Land's going to block Scorpion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the block the other way actually makes more sense. Just put the 3/3 on top of the Butcher, and then put the Euro in front of the 1/2 so you don't lose the Euro.
Right, yeah, the Butcher would just get a clean trade.
Oh, he's just letting it die. He's just like, okay, Nissa can take 3. I won't put my Euro in harm's way. If you want to sacrifice this Dreadhorde Butcher to kill the Nissa, it's going to take almost your entire turn.
And nice block. The Butcher does grow off of hitting a Planeswalker. It's a 4/4 now.
Now, Weaponize can target the land that already has damage on it to kill it, and then the Butcher trigger can kill the Nissa, and then you can follow that up with a Fiend Artisan, which will be a 5/5, or the Mired Triton if you just want to like gain some life and maybe try to fill your graveyard for the Call of Death Dweller into Luris next turn.
You see the Weaponize do just what you described. Nicholas tried to float negate mana, but the Nissa was already dead. Not a big deal, though. It's just a creature forthcoming. That's going to be Mire Triton, that little Death Toucher as a blocker. Ooh, and a Mill of Kroxa. It's a live hit, but speaking of live hits, Hydroid Krasis off the top for Nicholas. And this is the strength of this Sultai deck. There's just so many cards that are so excellent off the top.
Yeah, and a lot of them replace themselves or continually generate advantage the longer the game goes. And I think that's honestly, Simic, it just feels like an unstoppable force, you know? Even if you're able to kill everything, just a single Hydroid Krasis or Tamio or Nisu Shakes the World or Euro off the top, it's just so many virtual cards to deal with that it just, you know, it creates a lot of fatigue as far as like trying to grind through all this stuff. I mean, like, look how many things have died this game from both sides, and the game is still just like not that close to actually ending. Like, the game is basically over already because of the negate, but you know, it's not over.
Tamio goes hunting for eliminate, no dice. But from 15, you really like Nicholas's spot here. Ryuji contemplating escaping Kroxa. But Tamio stops you from discarding, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Oh, wow, yeah. Didn't even think about that. So it might be time for Call the Death Dweller. The shields are down. There's no negate mana at the ready. The only blue is used to play the Tamio. The Death Dweller into Luris plus a 1-drop seems okay, but just getting a 6/6 onto the battlefield doesn't seem bad either. Is it possible that the no discard makes them take 3 damage from the Kroxa? Is that potentially how that works?
I have to look at the specific wording, but yeah, you have to discard a non-land or you take 3. So when you discard a land or you discard no card for no cards in hand, you typically take 3. But I don't know exactly how both cards are worded, and I'm gonna find out when it happens, which hopefully doesn't take too long. But at this point, I've been rambling for a good 30 seconds, and the only thing I've exposed is my ignorance. All right, here's Kroxa. Nissa glows red, and 3 goes upstairs. All right, so we got the Lava Spike.
Well, there's only 1 blue for the Euro that's in the graveyard. I guess the Tamio can minus onto a blue source. Wonder if there's a untapped Fabled Passage. No, there's not. Oh, there's a Watery Grave.
I'm gonna grab Heartless Act, though. Interesting. There's Heartless Act on Kroxa. It's going to be the front side of Uro. Undo that Kroxa action, draw a card, and then Nissa who shakes the world.
He's heating up!
That hand is so stocked. It's so ridiculous. What can Ryuji do from here?
Deal you 3.
The better part of a Blightning. Wait. Because of Tamio, it's the worst part of a Blightning.
There's no way, dude. Best part.
I just meant in terms of math. 1 card and 3 damage is the better part of a Lightning. Only 3 damage is less than half.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I get what you're saying.
It's a math joke.
Yeah. Are you like a math guy now?
Kind of.
All right.
But I only do Blightning math.
Oh man.
So Luris is gonna get called by the Death Dweller. Gonna bring a Fiend Artisan from the graveyard. That Luris has Menace and Death Touch.
All right. How do you feel about Nissa shakes the world? Minus on Heartless Act. Heartless Act on the Luris. Plus on the Nissa. And then Thought Erasure.
Question.
Let everything else go.
Point of order. Question.
All right, listening.
Can you Heartless Act a creature with a Death Touch counter?
Probably not. Okay, well, Cry of the Carnam cleans up the Luris anyway, so no harm, no foul. And then an untap.
Yep, that still does it. Heartless Act gets the Fiend Artisan. Now Temple of Malice. It's slipping away from Ryuji. Cards kept on top. That's a good sign. So if there is something, you expect it to be there.
Oh, and he has a Village Right, so he could just do it right now if it's something hugely impactful.
Here's Fiend Artisan. I don't know anything that's cheap that could make that big of a difference here.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something, but the whole deck is full of 1s and 2s because you have Luris as a companion, so there's not a whole lot.
Here comes the medium plus Krasis.
Yeah, but now you get to just untap the island and hold up Negate, and I don't foresee a good way out of that. It is exposing his only blue source to a potential removal spell, though, if he does that. Which could have some like later game ramifications, but I feel like it just doesn't matter anymore. It's like a lot to deal with.
To the extent that it's exposed, that's covered by unlocking the negate. And so Claim the Firstborn's a card that's kept on top. That points itself at the Crisis, but we have Ether Gust and we have Negate.
Oh, he's gonna. Do you think he gusts it first? That's like the best draw in the deck, basically. And if you totally gust it, yeah, because it just locks them in for another turn. You just got them in the vice. They have 100%. To put it on top. If they don't put it on top, they're dead. But if they put it on top, they're 100% dead.
Well, I mean, they can put it on top and then like draw with this Village Rites. You don't know about the Village Rites.
Classic.
But I mean, it's not making that significant of inroads. Like Nicholas is at 18.
Crisis, you take the Crisis, you attack the Nissa for 6, and then you weaponize the monsters and kill it. You're 26 versus 2 lands and a handful of nothing and a Euro. And yeah, the Euro is problematic, but you can deal with that next turn. You've cleared what is in play, and that is all you can do.
Okay. Picking up what you're putting down. There goes Nissa. There goes Hydroid
not even
Crisis.
Another blue. He doesn't even have a second. Oh!
Breeding Pool off the top.
What's in a box? the second sword.
Lands are attacking. Ryuji to 20. That's not how this game's about.
Isn't that an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
What?
The lands are attacking.
What a twist.
The twist was he was never a good director.
Yikes.
Oh, my bad. Is that too real? Is it too real in here?
I don't know. That's just not your lane, man.
I think that's fair. That movie.
I will say The Village was horrible. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
You're talking about The Village. I'm talking about The Happening.
Did he do that one?
Yes. Yeah, okay. It was about the trees. The trees killed everybody. That was the big twist.
Someday they might.
I mean, that's true. I didn't say it wasn't, science fiction.
I just said the trees have the motive. I don't know if they have the means.
I know just the man to give them the means.
In the battle of Uro versus Kroxa, it's like pretty plainly advantage Uro.
Yeah. You ever played Liliana of the Veil versus Jace the Mind Sculptor?
No, because I just can't bring myself to register Liliana of the Veil.
Right, but you've cast Jace the Mind Sculptor against a Liliana.
Oh yeah, I've been on that side. That's
yeah.
Side. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, well, no, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
There's a phase of the Kroxa, and there is the GG. Gabriel Nicholas is going to be our championship qualifier today.